Hi everybody, it's Debbie from the Inspiration Station. Today I wanted to put together a layout share. I haven't done them in a while and I have been working on a bunch of stuff, so I figured I'd put them all in one video so you could take a look. Most of these have process videos that you can find on my YouTube channel. So this one, it does have a process video. This was where I took a pre-made kit that had come from, I think it was QVC. It was one of those things they did with Creating Keepsakes magazine. There were several pages to it, and I took the pre-made kit and I altered it to make it my own. So that is the birthday. This one is a trip I took with some friends to Provincetown, and I love the colors of this. I loved the way it came out. I had a bunch of embellishments from In a Creative Bubble. I think those came from Pink Fresh Studio, and we took a scavenger hunt. So there's a really cool story about that, how we went around town looking for different things. And I printed out the prompts along with the photos that we took. So for example, this one says, take a clear, people-free photo of Town Hall for future roamers. Consider it your digital footprint. So there's a whole bunch of neat things with that. Down the single page, and I'm going to start with this one. This is a page that I did during an online crop that Becky Adams and Jana Eubank are doing. They created a group called Gathering Glue, and I forgot what the name of the first crop was. It was something like something about creating. But anyway, the YouTube channel is Gathering Glue, and then every quarter, I believe, they're going to do an online crop. And in that online crop, they gave basically classes for different layouts. And this was one that Becky Adams had designed. And she used a template from Simple Stories and then stitched where the template lines would be. She used the Echo Park line that was about a book line. I used the Tracy Reed collection. Tracy Reed designed the collection for Echo Park, so they're very similar. I just happen to have the digital version. And this one I obviously have not finished. I still need 2 more photos that I'm waiting to print, but I did want to add it to this video. This is one that I did 2 weekends ago at a crop that I went to with a bunch of friends. I had been holding on to these 2 photos. I wish you could see his little face because it's just adorable. But this is one of my grandsons, and he was maybe about 2 years old at the time, and Mom had made chocolate chip cookies, and he was looking over the counter, and then he reached up and stole the cookie. So I thought those were great, and I had pulled aside this paper from Bo Bunny from years and years ago and wanted to use it. So I was able to do that, and then I took some Spellbinders dies to make the chocolate chip cookies. The mixer I think, was also a Spellbinders die. I have one from Elizabeth Craft, but I think it's much larger, so I believe this was the Spellbinders die. This is one that does have a process video. This is using another cut file from Gwen at Cut to You. This was for the cut file craze hop that happens every month on the 15th. So I had done this with that particular cut file, some Color Vibe cardstock, photo play paper. I used my Epsom PM400 PictureMate printer to make the collage to put the photos on there. This one is using, let's see, the cut file is from Hip Kit Club, I believe, and then the rest of this, the embellishments and everything, came from Tracy Reed collection, and the word treat was part of a Paige Evans cut and stitch file. This is a class, a layout that we did in a class at Simple Stories Creative Retreat, not this past year, so it would have been in 2024, and I just finally got around to getting the photos for it, so I was able to finish that one up. This is one of my absolute favorite pages. This is another of my grandsons. Actually, it's the same grandson that was stealing the cookies earlier. This photo is just fabulous. I love it, but I do have to respect their privacy, so I had to cover it up. But it's a sketch from Allison Davis, and I believe I also used her matching cut file for this. So I have my border punch. Yeah, it was a border punch, and some the stripe paper, the line paper was one of the old Becky Higgins Project Life cards. The clipboard here, the little clip is from, wasn't Elizabeth Craft. It was gosh, I can't think of the name of it anyway. But it is a die that came with a very long, skinny file, um, piece of paper, you know, to make a clipboard and everything. I used, this is from Simple Stories. These little strips are the tear strips from Kaisercraft. And I did some stamping on here with a splatter stamp and some distress ink. This one, doing the photos was so much fun. A friend of mine had asked if I would take some photos of her and a friend with the pumpkin heads. So we did that one evening, and I used those photos. This is a graphic 45 cut apart card from one of their very old collections. I think it was called Spellbound or something. And the paper is from Reminisce. There is a short on my channel that I did this with. It's not a full video. This one there is a video of my adorable little granddaughter, and the paper collection was from American Crafts. It's Farmstead Harvest or Harvest Farmstead, something like that. Loved this paper collection. I love the colors, and used some dies from Tim Holtz, Impression Obsession. I used my Copic markers to color these pumpkins and to give them a little bit of dimension, because it is a die that has embossed lines, but they're a little bit hard to see. So I used Copic markers to kind of bring that out so you could see it better. This is also a process video that I did where I cut this large 8x10 photo into strips. And the title, I cut this on the Cricut. This was from American Crafts. It was one of those thickers epoxy type titles. And I was able to find a font that I thought matched it reasonably well. And I used some glossy accents on the top. And actually, I think there was an issue with that. So I think it was Nouveau drops, and I had wished I used glossy accents because these weren't exactly smooth. So, but I love the way the title came out. And used some dies from, oh gosh, I think some of those were from Echo Park. The others I'm not sure about. This did not have a video, but this is using a Mosaic Moments die set, their Diamond Mine collection. And we had gone, my husband and I had visited some friends in Quebec, and they took us to this lavender farm that was just amazing. And I did a couple of detail shots of the lavender so that I purposely could do this framing effect using the dies from Mosaic Moments. And this was just another floral element that happened to be somewhere that I took a picture of. This has a video on it, and this was a visit to Old Sturbridge Village. I really loved this photo, anyway, was my favorite. And this line from Simple Stories was called Remember, and I thought it worked really well with that old world colonial feel. This is one I did just recently. I think this might have been my last process video that I did for Groundhog Day, where we took a page that we had done in the past and recreated it. So every year on Groundhog Day, the creators that participate in this YouTube hop go back to the previous year, whatever they did, and they scrap lift themselves. So I had made 3 pages using the same sketch. So I took those and I made this using that same sketch. This page is really unique, and I had to write down the creator's name. I had seen this on Facebook. Jennifer, I'm going to say it's Harkema, but I'm not positive. If I'm mispronouncing that, I apologize. But she had done a page where she embossed all of these different folders, all the different embossing folders, and then tore them and put them together so it almost looked like a fresco with the rough edges and everything. It took a minute to figure out how she did it, how she lined everything up, but I absolutely loved the effect, all of the detail that you can see in this. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of a shadow here from my hand. I'm trying a new filming situation and I haven't quite figured out the lighting on it yet, but isn't this really cool? I thought she did a fabulous job with designing this idea, and I thought it was perfect for one of my daughter's wedding photos. This is also a video on my YouTube channel. This was in January. It was for a hop that I did where the theme was winter. and I used Lawn Fawn dies, a cut file from Pear Tree Creations, I believe, Pear Tree Crafts. It's Pear Tree something, Pear Tree cut files. Use that. So there is a video for that. I did stitching all around here. And this is the final one that I have for today. At the beginning of the year, I had shown a page an idea that I had gotten from a store in Canada called Two Scrappy Friends, I think is the name. They have since gone to online only, but they still do videos quite often on YouTube. And they do a calendar series, and this was a title page they did. I don't know if it was for 2023 or 2024, but I really loved the idea of the monthly tags. And so I almost completely copied what she had done. I loved the way she had used stripes on the top of the tag, so I did that. I don't remember what she had in the tag holes, maybe enamel dots or something, but I used, this is all a Tracy Reed digital collection, and I cut out all these little flowers to go over the little holes in the tags. I used a roller date stamp from Heidi Swap and a die. I don't know where the die came from. It's supposed to be a little strip of washi tape. So I stamped those onto the washi tape die. And then I chose one photo that represented each month of last year. So I had my grandchildren have birthdays throughout the year. So one in February, one in March, one in May. We found out in June that we had a new grandbaby on the way. The oldest turned 6 in July. We had the baby shower. We had Grandparents' Day. This is my husband with the brand new baby. This is me with the brand new baby on Thanksgiving. And then my husband and I went on a trip in December. So that was our whole year. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough. I enjoyed doing all of these pages, and let me know if you like this idea of a layout walkthrough where that's all we do is go through the layouts. I tried to keep it as brief as possible, but let me know what you think. I appreciate your comments. Please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. I welcome all new subscribers, and I hope that you join me again. I will talk to you in the next video. Have a great day.